Okay, so I know you have made an attempt to complete the problem, the theorem, namely the composition of two continuous functions is continuous. More precisely, if f is continuous at a point P in E, and if g is a continuous g is continuous at f of P, then g composition f is continuous at the point P. Okay, so we have assumed f is continuous at P and g is continuous at f of P. Okay, now we have all these 1 and 2 we have, and we have to prove that decomposition f is continuous at P. For that we have to establish this. Okay, now how to establish this fact? So comparing the three statements you can arrive at the solution, because, and many of you have did it very well, I appreciate, because if you are a beginner in this field, how to write down proofs, etc. Okay, so even minor mistakes are there in some cases, but you can improve yourself. Okay, so let us see what to do. Okay, so we have to see that for any epsilon positive we select, we can find some delta positive such that the distance between g composition f of x, that is g of fx, and g of fp is less than epsilon whenever the distance between x and p is less than delta. This is what we want to get. Okay, so we fix some epsilon positive. Okay, so choose epsilon positive. So for that epsilon positive, we have to find some delta satisfying this two inequalities. Okay, this inequality provided x satisfies this condition. Okay, that we have to now look at this, but we want to get distance between g of fx and g of fp have to be made less than epsilon. Okay, whatever delta is there, anyway this we have to make less than epsilon, but we have a provision for that, because here our assumption is this: g is continuous at f of p, and so the distance of g of y, note that every y in f of e is of the form sum fx. Okay, so if we replace y by f of x here, these two conditions are similar. Okay, similar conditions. So here we can apply this condition, this assumption we can use to find corresponding to this epsilon. For gamma is equal to epsilon, you put gamma is equal to epsilon. So corresponding to epsilon positive, we can find some alpha positive such that whenever y is in f of e with dy fp less than alpha, then g of y, g of fp is less than epsilon. We put gamma is equal to epsilon. Okay, so from 1, not 1, 2, then 2 implies with gamma is equal to epsilon, what we get, so we put, because for every gamma positive we can choose some alpha, so we choose gamma as epsilon because we want to make this less than epsilon, so we have to substitute gamma here. Okay, so with gamma is equal to epsilon, there exists an alpha greater than 0 such that what d g of f of x, I replace this y by f of x because y is a point in f of e, so that it is fx for some x in it. Okay, so g of f of x, g of f of t, the distance is less than epsilon for all f of x in f of e, and that is equivalent to say that for all x in e with, what is the condition, d കഴിഞ്ഞോ? ആ ഓക്കെ ആ ഓക്കെ ആ ഞങ്ങൾ വിളിച്ചാൽ മതി. So for every x in E with d f of x, f of p is less than alpha. So whenever we have a point x in E with this condition, this will be satisfied. Okay. Again, we have to get this condition if d of g of fx, g of fp less than epsilon, provided x in E satisfies this condition, dxp less than delta. Okay, but here we have this condition d of f of x, f of x. So we have to come down again. Okay, so in order to get this happens whenever dxp less than delta. So if we find some delta positive such that whenever d of xp is less than delta, then d of f of x, f of p is less than alpha. So can we get a delta positive such that this happens provided dxp less than delta? Okay. Now if it is so, if we can find some delta like that, then this will imply, because if this is satisfied by f of x, then this will be automatically satisfied. That is the point we arrived at. Okay. So can we get in gamma such that this is less than alpha provided dxp less than gamma, sorry, not gamma, delta. Can we get a delta positive such that whenever dxp less than delta, that implies df of x, fp less than alpha? It is possible because we have the condition 1, we have the statements 1. What does it say? For every eta positive, we can find some zeta positive such that this is less than eta provided dxp less than zeta. Okay. So instead of zeta, sorry, instead of eta, because here our choice is on eta, delta is not our choice. Delta is the number we obtain once we select eta. Similarly, here gamma is our choice. Choose any gamma. Alpha is not our choice because alpha is the number we obtain corresponding to gamma. So there will be some restrictions for alpha. We cannot choose it arbitrarily. Okay? But gamma or eta we are choosing arbitrarily, and corresponding to our selected number we can find this eta, and here we can find the alpha. This is the difference that you can I can see in your proof, some of your proofs. Okay. Anyway, so it is possible because with alpha is equal to eta, we choose instead of eta any number you can select here, that number we select as alpha. So corresponding to this alpha, we can find some zeta positive like this. Now that zeta is our delta. Okay, that is our delta. So what we write here? Now again we use 1. Then 1 implies for this alpha positive. So this particular, so now we have an alpha, we have obtained an alpha here. With that alpha we proceed with 1. Okay. So for this alpha positive, there exists the number zeta, we rename it as delta. There exists a delta positive such that, what is it? D f of x, f of p is less than alpha, this alpha, for all x in E with dxp less than delta. Okay, for all x in E with dxp less than delta. So first we use 2 to get an inequality like this. We choose some epsilon positive, then by 2 for the selected epsilon positive we can find some alpha positive satisfying this, that is written there. Now look at it. So whenever d f of x, fp less than alpha, this is satisfied. Now when this happens, so we have to get this is satisfied when dxp less than delta. So can we compare this with the dxp less than delta? So that we obtain from the first statement. One implies with this alpha. So we have to get this one. So when eta is equal to alpha, then also we get some theta, and that theta is called delta. So corresponding to this alpha, there exists a delta positive such that the distance f of x, f of p is less than alpha, provided dxp is less than d delta. That is. Now what we have, then go up. Okay. So for this delta, whenever dxp is less than delta, we have df of x, f of p is less than alpha. Now df of x, f of p less than alpha ensures that g of f of x, g of f of p less than epsilon. So what we have, for this epsilon we have a delta positive satisfying this condition. This is less than epsilon provided this is satisfied. Okay, and that is exactly what we want to get, and that completes the proof. So I think you got the difference.